Going on? Legion Looter here playing more RuneScape Dragonwilds. Welcome to our Daily Gaming XP Grind episode 143. So, what are we going to be working on in this episode? We did not get a chance to tidy anything up, but I would like to sort of get a few things accomplished. So, we're going to be getting rid of some of these lodestones out here, and really they're pretty far apart, so I'm not going to focus on those just yet, but it is something that I'd like to focus on eventually. Now this lodestone right here can go, but that means we'd have to wait quite a bit of time to load in to get rid of this. And I've been contemplating more and more, and I think I'm going to be dismantling some more things over here, which hopefully can help with the load-in time. So I've made that decision. So you're going to have to bear with me here really quick while we destroy the lodestone here, as well as a couple other things. So um, that's going to be the pretty, not rather big, but a project that we'd like to get started on. And we obviously have some more arrows now, or should I say bolts. We've got our Charizard. So potentially we're going to get rid of the wall over there behind the boat, which should actually be rather fast. Probably the flooring. I don't know. Should I get rid of the flooring? If I did, I think it would give me quite a bit of things that get deleted. Um, some other things that I potentially would like to get rid of. I can't get rid of the roller coaster, that part anyway. I've been thinking about what I might want to get rid of in regards to the roller coaster, and I've got a little bit of an idea of what I might get rid of, and then a couple of other things. So it's definitely not sure if it's going to actually help a lot or not. But even then, I think making an effort to try to make it better is probably better than doing nothing at all about it. So we loaded in. That wasn't too horrible. It used to be a lot worse. So there's a lodestone here we can actually get rid of. So that will do a little bit more as well. And we don't have our shield out, which we should. There we go. But now we put away our weapon. So let's just get rid of this guy and then get our shield out. Okay, so we've got our onion and another onion. And another onion. Another thing I guess I have to consider is if I get rid of all these lodestones, and then potentially after getting rid of these different things that I'm talking about deleting, then what if the load-in's easier and now I've deleted all my access points to get to these resources that now are going to be useful, right? So I guess that's also something to consider, and that wolf got aggroed, so that's all right. There's actually so many dwarberries right here. It's really unfortunate I can't really come here without there being such a large problem, but hopefully after deleting some things, my gas station I can not get rid of. This ride right here actually is really cool. I like the idea a lot. So I don't think I can quite get rid of this. I'm gonna leave the lodestone here just because there, I mean, potentially it could be okay. So I want to leave my options open. Get rid of the entrance right here. This is unnecessary. The restrooms I never really quite finished. It's still like a little cool building, but I got to make a decision on whether or not I want to get rid of that, as that could help the time for the load-in. Obviously, those aren't the things that are causing it, though. As you can see, it's these massive projects that I did that are just insane, and that they're just so many resources which cause the load-in problem. So these little things I'm doing here might not actually do anything for us, but I've got to make an attempt to try to make it a little bit better, right? That's ultimately the goal, and I think it's a good start. We've got some dwellberries here, 2 onions. So if we can just manage to sort of, I mean, I like the floor. The floor's got to stay. The bathroom, I guess, needs to stay as well. And I guess that's another corridor of the bathroom. I don't want to get rid of the ride. The staircase could probably go, though. Um, that sort of takes me up here. And I think that we don't need the staircase, even though I think it adds a little bit of appeal to the actual project. But now that's just going to fill up our inventory, and then we'd have to wait to come back to load in. So really what we need to do is actually just put a chest over here with a bunch of logs in it, which we're never really going to come back for. I don't know if having the chest here actually will delay the load in. I think it's actually the build itself, the giganticness of it. So let's see, I've got to leave that. Let's see what else I might be able to get rid of. We can kill this wolf really quick. Look at that. There's some onions under the floor over here. Let's see if I can grab those without causing too much. Yeah, so we can still grab those resources. Um, let's go ahead and get rid of this. Oh, we accidentally took some flooring away. I actually want to replace that. Well, regardless, we're still going to be getting XP, it seems, in different things. Construction right now, as we rebuild that floor, which is not a lot, but it's something. So let's go ahead and get rid of this. Then that should automatically fall. This wall might help quite a bit. I'm not entirely sure if it will. Hopefully it does. It looks like we had lots of extra stuff just sort of all over the place. So the wall might actually do quite a bit. Let's see how much that actually helps. We've actually got quite a bit built that was just sort of never actually turned into anything. So let's go ahead and pop back. We've got some dwarberries here. We could. I don't really want to get rid of the line queue. I think that looks pretty cool. Um, but I think we've already made a substantial difference in quite a few things. So we just got to keep going with this. And I think that through this, we're going to potentially make it so we can move around a little bit easier around here. The line queue's going to stay. The floor's staying. Let's see. We're keeping the ride. Let's see what else we might be able to do. If we could get rid of some of the floor this way, but I kind of like it. It has a look to it. I guess I don't really want to get rid of it. Let's see if I can grab some more of these strawberries if I've already done so. And our inventory is full again. But I'm not that concerned about that right now. I want to try to focus on looking at other things that we potentially can destroy. And hopefully that helped. Obviously, look at all that. I didn't even realize I had all that. That's absolutely ridiculous. So this is sort of a line that belongs to something I was working on. So I actually think I can get rid of this. And that will help a little bit, right? I got to watch out for these guys because those guys are trouble. So that all just got destroyed. And let's see. And this actually goes for quite a while. So if I can get rid of this without triggering them, that would be ideal. We really don't want to have to deal with that whole party. But we've got one here. So it's okay. We really didn't trigger the larger army. So I think it'll be okay. Let's go back over here and then get rid of this. And the reason I'm doing all this, in case you're wondering, is because everything's out of control over here. I'm tired of waiting to load in forever if I come to this area, and I plan on coming back to this area again. So we're trying to minimize the time it takes to load in. It just in case you were wondering, maybe if you sort of skipped ahead, look at that, that's missing a track right there. Let's see, we could just drop the wood in there. We don't really need it. If we ever needed it, we know where to come get it. So we got rid of a couple things. I'm not saying it's going to change the world or anything. But I think there's not much more I can really get rid of at this current point that I want to get rid of. I think everything else that I've got sort of like important and it matters to me. So I'm not sure if it's going to make a huge difference. Hopefully it does. Um, no way to tell, right? Just over time, coming back and seeing what it looks like once we do. So hopefully it made a difference. Let's go ahead and let's see potentially if there's so many dwellberries. This is such a good place to get them. But I've ruined my opportunity because it's so difficult to come into this area without there being so much lag. So it's unfortunate. But we're here now, so we can go ahead and collect all these dwellberries. And let's see, I'm just going to go ahead and eat those two really quick because obviously we're going to be getting a little bit of extra XP for collecting the food products, recipes, not recipes, just the food resources. Sometimes I have a bit of a difficult time sort of putting it all together, but there's so many dwellberries out here. So hopefully what I've destroyed actually helps us a little bit to be able to come back here and collect all these great things that we can use quite a bit of. But I just think there's too much stuff. We've got the Oakland Coliseum. Not why do I call it the Oakland Coliseum? It's not an Oakland Coliseum. It's the Roman Colosseum. I wouldn't build the Oakland Colosseum. That's absolutely ridiculous. And if you're wondering what the Oakland Colosseum is, I'm actually from the Bay Area originally, since moved, and that's actually where just a bunch of sports teams and events actually took place. So it's quite interesting that my brain goes there. I think that's programming. I think that's what that is. But so we're going to collect some dwellberries. We've moved a lot of lodestones and we've done quite a bit of work to help us behind the scenes. So really can't complain too much in that regard. I think we've done quite a bit of work to try to make things a lot more player friendly for myself. I guess I can go ahead and kill some more sheep and ram just while we run through here. Give me a little bit of XP and range, and miss that shot right there. All right, so just ultimately killing the sheep and ram, I think, gave me quite a bit of food prior. That's how I got a lot of my food, but I don't really prefer to sit here and run around for a ridiculous amount of time killing sheep and ram anymore. I'm sort of like burnt out from that, but obviously we're going to have to get back to it because while we're doing that, we can actually um, collect dwellberries and onions as well, but not really so much in this area. It's not as filled with them, so let's see if we can get that. Oh, that was so close, but here we are. And this episode might be a little bit longer, I feel like, because I'm not done and I feel like I've been playing for quite a bit and we haven't really got everything done that I'd like to get. So it might be a little bit longer than usual. Let's go ahead and put all the meat inside here and that should do it. I think that's all of it. So let's put this in here so that way we don't mix things up too horribly. Looks like a bunch of other stuff's going to go. I have to go in here. So let's go ahead and pop back to the lodestone and see what else we might be able to get or relocate to make things a little bit easier. What's going on here? These are probably just all my dwellberry ones, which are great. Let's see. We got an onion. And then there's the potential that those are going to be used for split bark armor. But I've got no idea. The animal infused bark. That makes a lot of sense to me. Does that mean that they'll make you come back here so that way this content is actually a little better? I mean, that makes a lot of sense to me. That guy just sort of fell out of the sky, it looked like. This might not actually be a great place for this lodestone, now that I'm looking at it. It appears to me that there was only a little bit of stuff I could actually get from there. But still, so we've got another guy too. We've got a Berserker. So we're probably going to have to kill him as well, which is fine. We could use more Garu packs, especially if they're going to have seeds in them. That's actually going to be very beneficial at some point to have. So, and honestly, in order to level up all the combat skills, we're going to have to be doing combat. And we've really switched to range lately. That's what we really heavily focus on a lot. And it's just because it's easy. Magic is not easy. You're going to have to fire at this enemy like so many times to really kill it. So that's unfortunate. It's really irritating, actually, that you've got to put so much effort into doing that with magic. I think it should be a lot more powerful. Hopefully they address that further down the road. I know it's early access. Talked about this quite a bit already. But basically, so isn't range. So isn't melee. They're all early access. So why is it that magic is so weak? I really can't say. It's quite frustrating. It's interesting too, because I built so much in the fractured planes. The way that I play the game actually was very sort of twisted. Like my route in the game was changed based on the fact that I had so much built and I couldn't even go to the fractured planes. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm going to have like a lot more of any particular resource, but things might have been a little bit different. I'm not entirely sure. But do I have a? I don't have a vault core. I thought I might. I don't even know if I've been over here in the game. That's actually really cool. Potentially an unexplored area for me, which is really rare. So it's right, really cool actually. I wish I had a vault core because I'd like to put a lodestone over here. This looks like a really good place to actually get dwellberries, and looks like there's two of them there. I think I already grabbed both, but this looks like it would have been a really good place. Let's see where it's at on the map. It's on a corner over there. Yes, this looks like a really good place to actually have one, and you sort of miss most of the monsters, even though you saw some combat there. I don't think that would have really been an issue. So lots of stuff. We got that beast, which we want nothing to do with right now. Oh, you got lots of bad guys over here. So much going on, and it's because it's actually dark. That's why that's all happening. So look, like a lot of different things have spawned now, and I don't want to fight that guy, and it doesn't matter because he wants to fight me. So now we're gonna have to try to prepare ourselves for getting poisoned, and I hate getting poisoned. It's terrible. So hopefully we can get him without too much of a problem. But then we're gonna have to fight 2 more wolves. It looks like to get out of this. I really want these onions. So insignificant. So much trouble for 2 onions, I tell you. All right, that was actually a really cool little combat scene there. The way that I bounced him off the shield and then finished him. It's a chinchompa. I guess I thought it was a wolf. There's another shaman. I didn't want to deal with another one. All right, so let's go this way, and we got 2 wolves. I guess we may as well fight them. Get a little bit more cooking resources. Sort of forced into it, really. There we go. All right, so they're all dead now. That's great. We got a lodestone. So now I know basically where I need to put another one, as I think it would really make sense to. I almost just jumped. I would have died. That would have been terrible. Oh, we got to go that way. We got to go that way. So we're going to go ahead and just use this really quick. And come down. Hopefully, yes, our leggings are light. Leggings of lightness are not broken, so we're fine. So that's something to keep in mind for the future, that we need to place the lodestone over there. And there's always that little bit of lag right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and put all the food that we just got. We're actually gathering quite an enormous amount of food, which is really going to help us with cooking. I thought that tree was a goblin. The shrapnel we got to pull back out. We don't want it in that one. And then let's put this here. I'm actually having quite a bit of a good time doing this. Just sort of repurposing a lot of my lodestones. Because I don't really... I mean, the game's been going on for so long now. And I've never really done that. So it's actually quite fun to do something like that. We're going to go ahead and fix our Blarite bow really quick. And then we are going to basically do an XP update. I think we've been on the game for quite some time. We got quite a bit accomplished. And yeah, so just in the next episode, look for more pretty much the same. I might start to cut down trees here pretty soon. The only problem is that they come back. So I don't really particularly like that. But we got to get more birds' nests. So look for that potentially in the future. And let's do an XP update. 332,000 attack XP, 72,000 range XP, 1,002,000 woodcutting, construction 2,014,000, runecrafting 1,001,400, magic 125,000 XP, mining 4,255,000, artisan 4,132,000, and cooking 523,700. So we didn't do a whole bunch. We mainly prepared for what's to come and all the challenges that we're going to have along the way. So yeah, so like it doesn't seem appear that a lot got done, but it actually did. And so anyway, we hope you guys are enjoying our content, and hopefully you guys are enjoying your adventures in RuneScape Dragonwilds. And until next time, Legion Looter out.